Rewards. Who doesn't like rewards, right? I mean, it's like a prize.
Hey there, my name is Ed Howie, and this is Howie Grow a Brand.
1, 2, 3, and...
If you like what you learned from this video, help us promote this channel by clicking the like button below and subscribing to our channel. Ready to go? Let's get into today's chat.
You know, it's amazing what we can be reminded of if we're just paying attention. I've been in marketing and branding for 30-some years now. While edhowie.com is kind of new, we've been at this about 6-7 months. I've been doing this for 30 years. B2I Creative is our business. We've supported brands like Chick-fil-A, H-E-B. But it just kind of always kind of brings me back to attention when I realize that when you just do the simplest things right and you go back to simple brand truths, it's amazing how you can woo your customers. Let me tell you about an experience that I had with my daughter and her boyfriend, the new boyfriend, just several nights ago. So, we're talking about food again. So if you haven't had a snack, grab something to eat. But if you have ever been in Atlanta or select cities throughout the U.S., you've been to a restaurant called Houston's, or some of them are called now Hillstone. And Houston's has been a part of my family's life for over 30 years, having lived in Atlanta when I was at Chick-fil-A back in the 90s. And there are many things we love about Houston's. Part of it is their confidence in their brand, that they will definitely make it as best they can, exactly like what you want. But at the same point, there are certain things they're just not going to do for you. Like, for example, on their menu online, there's a line that says, we ask that you refrain from using your cell phone in the dining room. And if you must take a call, we will suspend our service until you finish your call, or something like that. And anyway, so they have this incredible brand reputation of just being super consistent. They have a well-orchestrated brand. They have a well-operationalized brand. And they truly have optimized it. But they don't always do exactly what you want. And how do they turn that into like a positive? So we're at dinner the other night, and if you've ever had chicken tenders at Houston's, you know exactly what I'm talking about. These are perfectly breaded tempura battered chicken tenders that often are used to come on a huge platter with fries. And their buttermilk garlic dressing is like one of the top 5 salad dressings perhaps in the world. I mean, seriously. But anyway, we're talking about chicken fingers. So our waitress the other night was Shaylin, and I still have the receipt. And it was phenomenal because Houston's is known for having a secret menu, and chicken tenders have always been on the secret menu. Well, when we sat down, my daughter Sarah said, I don't think they have chicken tenders anymore. I was like, are you serious? I mean, they got rid of the Sunbelt salad like 20 years ago, and they still served it for about 10. And so Shaylin comes up, and she is delightful, and she brings our spinach dip, and we're having drinks and just having a delightful time meeting the new boyfriend. And as we're visiting there, we're like, so she said, well, do you have any questions? I said, yes, and I'm afraid to ask it. And she said, what is it? And we said, well, any chance we can get chicken tenders? And she said, no, I'm sorry, they're no longer on the menu. It's like, no longer on the menu. She said, yeah. She said, and she kind of leaned in. She said, well, what they're telling us is that due to COVID, there was some issues with supply. The product wasn't the integrity they wanted. And then also they were hard to predict. They would prep for them, and sometimes they'd sell out and sometimes they wouldn't. And I looked at her and said, okay, so you think that's the truth, or is that just like the storyline to give you cover so that you could take something you really didn't want to be selling forever off your menu and have COVID as an excuse? And she just laughed and winked and said, we'll never know. The deal is that a lot of times when you want to order something you can't get, whether it be at a Houston's or Amazon, whatever, the first thought is disappointment. The way she handled that conversation, not only did it not create disappointment, she like was advocating for us without dissing her brand, which is really like, isn't that the act of service? And so in this situation, here's what I was reminded of as the conversation continued on. We were not there for chicken tenders, even though that's what our stomach thought. We were there for a delightful time. We were there for incredible food. We were there for caring service. And we were there to create a memory, which is what we did. And part of that memory includes the dialogue we had with Shaylin throughout the night about chicken tenders. Because like when she brought the ribs, which are phenomenal, she brought the ribs and was like, they're not chicken tenders, but I think they're pretty darn good. And then it happened to be, we were celebrating, we're recognizing Sarah's birthday, which had been a week before, and Austin's birthday, which had been several days after that. And so we ordered key lime pie. And again, I mean, my gosh, if you've never had a key lime pie, I mean, seriously, this could be like a commercial for Houston's. Maybe we could do an affiliate code like buttermilk. Use Ed's buttermilk garlic favorite as a code, maybe. Anyway, hey, Houston's, call me. Love ya. Okay, so this is the funniest part. And this is why our dinner was not about the food we were consuming. The key lime pie came out. And it didn't have a candle on it, which actually we were all thankful for. Well, I wasn't. I love that kind of thing. But anyway, a different server had brought the key lime pie. And so Shaylin comes over and says, oh my gosh, I'm sorry. It got out before I could put the candle on it. And we're like, no, really, it's okay. She said, but you know what? I've got some chicken back there. Could I put some candle in a chicken breast and bring it out to you? Now, I mean, think about it. She was offering to bring raw chicken with a candle out to celebrate a birthday. It was the most perfect response possible because she, throughout the whole experience, was helping us navigate. And I think she was probably doing it deliberately as well as just naturally because she was a most delightful human. This thing that could have been a negative, oh my gosh, we can get chicken tenders, and so we're settling for everything else. It could have been a poo moment. It was a woo because she remembered what her job was, and it was not to serve us chicken tenders. It was to ensure that we had a delightful evening. And that's exactly what we did. So my point is, we get so caught up in what we're selling, we forget why we're selling it. And the best way you can check yourself and your team on this simple brand truth is listen to what they're telling your customers about your product. Are they telling you about the size of the engine or the efficiency of the gas mileage? Are they telling you about the fact that it has a faster processing speed or the fact that it is actually antibiotic free? Those facts are true, but they're not why your customer ultimately buys your product. Your customer buys your product because of the reward it is going to give them. So you better know your product, but you really better know your rewards.
Hey, I really hope this helps and inspires your day. If any of this works on your business this week, I'd love to hear about it in the comments or hey, just message me. Can't wait to see what we chat about next time on How We Grow a Brand. We'll see you soon.